What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to Weekly Cheddar. It's Combine Week. Hope you all are excited about that. Plenty to talk about there. If we get to it, if you guys are interested in that, if you have questions about that, we'll get to all of those. If you have questions at all about the Packers, the draft, or whatever else is on your mind on this Monday evening, sounds great. Let's do it. So we are going to do some mock off seasons here. From the stick to the model. We'll go through some scenarios, maybe 2 or 3 of them. We'll see what we get to in about an hour or so. And and then questions, what else? Whatever else we get to, we will get to. But that is the plan for now. And we're going to roll on through it and do a couple of these. Again, we'll try to go as quickly as we can to test, some stuff out is really what we want to do with this. So Adam Huddle says Will Lee and Dalen Everett, no matter what. It just means more. Again, Dalen Everett, probably going to be a popular one for Green Bay. Him and Igbenogson seem like guys that Green Bay is going to be interested in. And obviously a big week for that, right? Measurements, testing, all of that good stuff that will get a lot of data points for these players. So, definitely excited. Tyler Dershel, what's going on, says, what position in the draft is weak? I would say weakest right now. It's got to be. I don't know. I think from a complete player perspective, defensive tackle's kind of weaker. QB's obviously a lot weaker once you get past Mendoza. I think tight end's weaker than last year, right, in terms of do-it-all players. I think Sadiq is fine. I don't think he is anywhere near the level of Warren and Loveland. Center's a strange one this year. I think you could conceivably say that's weak this year. I think the guard class is pretty good. Tackle, I've got quite a few questions with a lot of these guys, and I think, when you look at Spencer Fano at the top for tackle, right? He's kind of, he's got kind of more of the build that Will Campbell had, where it's a little skinnier build. We'll see if that affects him, right? There's, Lomu and Freeling and Proctor and Mawanoa's may kick into guard, and the guys before that, plus Ian Nachor, still have kind of questions about their game, but they're probably athletically gifted enough for it. So tackle, D-tackle isn't great. I don't think edge is super in this one. But the strength, safety, linebacker, right? I think receiver is good. So I do think that running back's probably a little weaker, right? Just in terms of past Jeremiah Love. Who's RB2? I think there's going to be a lot of data points to try to figure that out this week as well. Chris chopped in here, said what's going on. Good to see you. So let's kind of dive into this. And we'll kind of get started, and we'll do questions in between, right, as we're doing all this. But I wanted to get to a few of these on here so we could kind of look at that. Just because I think it's a great site and plenty of good things to go through and scenarios you can kind of jet through in no time. Churchill says, I guess a better question is because of what draft weaknesses should Green Bay utilize their free agent funds for? I mean, I would still probably be utilizing them along the offensive line as much as possible, right? I think as you go through this, I don't know if it's been updated at all. I haven't looked at this in a week or so, but Linderbaum's price, I think, is going to be too big for Green Bay. I think when JJ and I did this, a couple weeks ago, they had Linderbaum's cap at 17 or 18 million. It was close to there. And I think he's going to get at least 20, maybe more, maybe even 21, 22 million a year. So, I do think guard, I still think, D tackles with certain roles Green Bay should be looking at, right? Like Kiris Tonga, we've talked about, probably a guy I'm going to look at here. I think those two are big ones. I mean, they could fill linebacker if they wanted to. I think there are plenty of potential starters down the line, potential good starters even after the top 3. So I do think offensive line, guard especially, where else should they take a chance at? And D-tackle roles. So like I think trenches is where they should be using it, just to again ensure that they don't have to back themselves into a corner when the draft rolls around. So let's get this started here. We're going to make some cuts. Obviously, a big one we're going to do is Rashawn Gary, right? I think we're going to do that. And we might, post June 1st, this one with Gary. And then we're obviously going to do Elton Jenkins here. This is an easy one as well. That gets us into a good spot there already. Aaron Banks will be a nice one to move on for. I just don't think they can do it. That's the troubling part of this, is just like, I don't know. Maybe we can get away with it. Maybe let's do it in the first go round and we'll kind of go that direction. Hobbs, Nixon. Goodness sakes. All right, let's just do Banks. We'll cut Banks. 2026 dead money, 2027 dead money, not great. All right, we'll post June 1st that too. So those two, we'll make those 3 cuts. I'm going to make 2 extensions happen here. I'm going to extend Watson for probably 3 extra at, let's say it's 21 per year. We'll go with that. And we'll extend and restructure there. I'm gonna definitely extend Wyatt for at least 2 more. I think that makes a lot of sense to do. And I think we're gonna leave it at that. Can we extend Kraft now? Is it doable? No, that's a shame. Okay. Let's see. Pending free agents. Do we want to tag anybody? I don't think so. Let's see. Remember, this is just one. This is just one scenario. So I think that's what we're going to stick with at this point. 3 cuts, 2 extensions. I know there's a lot of talk about like, let's restructure Jordan Love. Think about it next time. We'll keep this one short and sweet, as Kansas City offers Chris Jones for a bunch of picks. Did you cut Gary and Banks? Yes. Gary, Banks, and Elton are the 3 cuts for us so far. And then Wyatt and Watson have gotten extensions. We're not going to... I don't want Chris Jones for all of that. I don't want Coleman. I like Downs, but not that much. I like Washington's cool. Dallas offers Kenny Clark for pick 200. No, you can... No. You can cut him and we'll pick him up. All right, let's get into free agency now. Man, Sean Ryan, look at that number. It's probably not going to be the case. 5 to 15 for Quay. That's the one thing, if we should do this to make it a little easier, is should we make the Quay Walker signing? That's really when I look at our free agents where I'm like, oh yeah, let's do that. Like Kennard, I think, is one I'm going to do here as well, just to make sure we get that. My gosh, what? No. The market is 16. What are we doing? This is what it's become. Goodness sakes. No, I don't think we can do that. Okay, so like it seems like, again, I don't think a lot of these guys are getting that much. Can't we used to be able to force these. He wants $7 million? This is nuts. Have we lost our minds with these valuations here? Seems like it. All right, well, let's try Quay. I think it's an interesting number. Market value is at 10. I'm comfortable doing that. Let's do that. Let's go 10. Let's make offer for 2 for 10 a piece. Okay, cool. We got Quay back. So that kind of eases some of the need at linebacker. We'll probably still pick one, but I mean, we're going to get a lot of picks from these guys. My favorite is Malik Willis. Malik Willis is a depth signing. Market value of 4.9. He has a lower market value. Darian Kinnard's market value is 3 times this. That doesn't make any sense to me. But whatever, we can't bring Kinnard back, so we'll have to bargain bin hunt a little bit when it comes to positions. Again, I think that one of the simplest ones they can do is go get someone like Tonga here, who again, like the market value at 2.2 for a couple seasons is like perfectly fine. Like this, I would do run D stuff. Perfect signing there for me, I think. And let's go get like Tevin Jenkins. See what oh my gosh. You know how frequently the site updates. I don't know. They must have had an update since we did this because Kinnard at 16 million per is outrageous, and that was not the case when we were doing this. Like, oh my gosh, the market value is 17.5 for Jenkins. Yeah, buddy, we're not doing that. We got a bargain bin hunt. All these free agents are insane. Yo, these are nuts, by the way. Okay, so Linderbaum, look at this. They only let you go to 16.8. Yeah, that's nuts. This is the same number as Kinnard's getting per year. Like Linderbaum's going to get 20. Like we could make this offer, but I just don't. I want him to be a little more realistic. I wish you could like input numbers a little bit too. Gosh, these guys are at like 20 million for being horrendous players relative to top competition. Like, goodness sakes, where are the bargain bins at offensive line? I feel like these have gotten outrageous. Like, goodness, some of these centers are insane. This would be interesting. Danny Pinter, if nobody offers him a bunch. Let's try this. Okay. Like some of these linemen, how low can we go here? Did they update all the Browns lineman cuts? Yeah, I mean Jenkins is like 10 million more per year now. They might have updated all that. Like Matt Pryor, guys like this are like even still 5 million. So there is I mean these offensive line numbers are outrageous. We aren't going to be able to make a lot of moves. Might as well make a big move. Wow. Like Dan Skipper's 19 million. Like, what is this? This is insane. Lucas Patrick, 5 million per. Good grief. Maybe we could figure out the D-line thing and clear all of this right away. If Mike Pennell has been here before. Colin Saunders. Taven Bryan. Could bring back our guy. Oh, DJ Reader's interesting. Again, that would give us a lot of room to play with. Jordan Elliott, Joseph Day. Throw out players if you guys have done this before. If you want to toss a player in here. Of like, yeah, you should sign this guy. Because it seems like D-line, obviously, there aren't like young stars going in. Like Ryan should be bargain bin. But if you go back up to like, if you go up to O-line and you go to the top for us, like look at how much Ryan is getting here. First off, he's not a left tackle, so this isn't right. So like, look, the low ball offer you can make is $18.9 million. I'm simply not doing that. Like we can't do that. Like that's insane. And there's Kinnard. Here's Kinnard. Look at this. Your low ball offer for Kinnard is $16.2 million a year. Like, absolutely not. We will not be doing that. Like, Lacita Smith is 15. Like, what are we doing? This is absolutely insane, some of this. So, like, Cam Robinson, Dalton Reisner. Maybe Reisner is somebody we'd look at. we obviously need to add somebody here. Like, this isn't like Elijah Vera Tucker's had a ton of injuries, but like, would that be worth doing? Perhaps. Hold on. Yeah, I know. This is what I mean. Like, I don't know. Some of these valuations are insane. 27 years old. He's had a lot of injuries. So if we go low, or we go like a 1 year prove it near market value, let's do that. Let's do that. Something we haven't done. Okay. So I think that's kind of all I want to do now. Unless there's like a bargain bin corner, but like Trayvon Diggs is at 8. Woolen, no thank you. Joshua Williams is a big number. Goodness sakes. Cam Mitchell, Kendrick, Kai Blue Kelly, Amik Robertson, Adoree. No. Oh, yeah, that's what I wanted to look up. Where's the king at? 11 million for Stokes. Wow. Okay, so I have some ideas next time to kind of spice this up. But let's go with this. Let's head with this to the draft. I do like where we're at. Full draft speed, very fast. We're not going to wait around for this. Okay. Let's start our 7-round mock draft here. We've done some signings. Let's see what we can get. Let's see what we can get. Let's see what we can do. Big money, big money. Okay. Now, Overton, Abney, Golday. This is what's nice. We've kind of left ourselves. Okay. So Igbinosun, a popular one. Popular to go corner. Trades. 75 and 87. So a lot of like. Ooh. Yeah, I'm going to move back. I'm going to move back 6 spots. And see what happens. Okay. I kind of knocked out all of our guys, but that is okay. We will react accordingly. I think the move is Connor Lew, believe it or not, unless we trade again. But I think that's the move. Man, I didn't think we were going to lose all these guys. Whoops. I should have been more careful about losing a guy like Basantis. It could go Julian Neal. That's popular. D-line is, again, the same kind of cast of characters. We have Tonga on the team. That feels good. Well, in linebacker. Rodriguez, again, somebody that I would be very, very interested in. No, I think we make the pick here. We need a center. We're gonna go take Connor Lew first. And that was a poor trade back for me. To be fair, this window isn't great seeing all the names. It's a little big. But okay. We're on the clock again. Where's our draft of like your picks? Yeah, that feels good. Okay, so we have 84, 92, and 120 coming up. So that's good news. All right. Okay. So player-wise at this spot, we're still going to have to go interior O-line again. Like, I wouldn't mind doubling down. There's Everett. There's our guy Everett. Everett and Will Lee, as was prophesized by our GOAT, Adam Huddle, who has called it. I think that's where I'm going to go. No, we're going to go there for sure. We're going to, I think, get one of them. We'll probably get Will Lee or Dalen Everett. So we to make sure we do this, we brought back Tonga, right? And or brought in Tonga, right, as a run defending defensive tackle. And so this, I think, is a way to bring in, again, another type of guy that I think is specialized, but still really effective, and that's Grayson Halton. So we're going to take Halton here at defensive tackle. I think that's a really good one there. And we're still able to take Everett or Lee with one of these. Let's take Everett this time. Okay, we're going to go Everett. So now we have O-line, D-line, and corner, and we're going to try to get another offensive lineman here for sure. Like Coogan or Bo Stevens or Gene Roberts. It'll be really nice when the next time I don't mess up and take Besantis when he's there. I failed. So yeah, that's interesting. Okay. We might have to just take Bo Stevens, to be honest. Royer, Bentley, Andres, Roush, Raridon. One of my guys, Daquan Wright. Really like him. Now, trading Reed could be something we do. But I'm not going to do it yet. Offensive tackle, I should be looking at that for guys who can play guard. Like Cage Casey is somebody who I think could obviously play guard at a high level. Cronover, Farmer. I think I'm going to lean Bo Stevens. We're going to go Bo Stevens here. Chris asks, Connor Liu or Jake Slaughter? I lean Connor Liu. I know that Connor Liu maybe isn't as big, and he's coming off the ACL, and that's not great, right? But I think in terms of, I think just more control that he plays with when contact phase starts, I think gives him the edge for me. I think that's the biggest edge between the two of them at this juncture. So that's why I'd lean that direction. Raridon, Kosiol. O-line heavy. Like I think this is possible. I think you could see this happen, where Green Bay is looking to overhaul the O-line in coming years, and they go bananas to do so. Like edge is still something I'd be looking at here for sure. Keyshawn James newbie is good. I need to check our picks, see how many picks we have. We have 4 picks left, and we've gone O-line heavy on this one, which I have no problem with doing. Super O-line heavy. Oh, he's one of my favorites late. Okay. I think I know how we're going to address this. I have a feeling they're only going to take one corner if they keep everybody. So, oh man, do we lose out? We might have. Oh man. Oh no, we're good. Okay. So we're going to take, I think, a receiver here. We're going to take Caleb Douglas. Okay. Yep, that's what we're going to do. We're going to take Caleb Douglas for 1. Okay. Now, for 2, we are going to take an edge rusher, who I like. If he's not here, I'm going to be ticked. Eric O'Neill, productive edge rusher later in the draft. I like that. Linebacker. Hopefully he's still here. Yep, Caleb Elarms. And then one more. Probably running back. I agree. Let's go Keelan Black to finish it. Okay. So that's the first one. 24 minutes. That's not bad. All right. So let's take a look at what we've done here. Right. It should say what we've done on this summary. So we cut Gary Jenkins Banks. So 3 cuts there. Saved a lot. Watson and Wyatt get extensions. Quay Walker gets signed for 2 years at $10 million. That's, I think, a bargain. Elijah Vera Tucker comes in. Injuries, so we insured that with 3 O-line picks. And Kyrus Tonga. So I think that in the front two signings in the front 7, bringing Walker back plus Vera Tucker, take a chance on him, and then 6-pick trade back in the draft. Go get Connor Liu, Grayson Halton, Dalen Everett, Bo Stevens, Cage Casey, Caleb Douglas, Eric O'Neill, Caleb Ilarms Orr, and Keelan Black. That's our draft. So I'm gonna hang on to this, or somehow. Maybe I won't. That's all right. I thought there was a way to do this. Share draft, grab draft, download draft. Anyway, that's fine. That feels good. But yeah, I do like that a lot. I think future outlook, we got 0. That's fun. That's very fun. So yeah, I mean, okay. I have the draft picks at least. That's good. Okay, does Banks have a post June 1? Hypothetically, if they did do that, an O-line heavy draft. Yeah, he does have a post June 1st. Yes. Definitely. We were going to do that. Because I think it looks like that's the most beneficial for like both. So I do think that was a smart call there. All right, let's exit. Let's do this again. Yeah, let's start again. Let's do another one. Where we're again a little bit over the cap, and essentially, let me close this. It's crushing. All right, there we go. All right. Yeah. All right, so we get our 3 daily uses, hopefully. Where I can, man, this thing struggles. So we may only do this once. Good grief, this thing. Oh, maybe we do have to. All right. Well, maybe what we'll do. We did one of those. We'll do another mock here. We'll do it on PFF. And we'll just go through a simulation. But that was a fun thing. It looks like you only do one free one per day. I just got to sign up for it. I'm not going to go through that process with you guys on stream. That's stupid. We're going to get as much content as we can out of this. So let's go here and mock draft on PFF. And what we'll do is we'll do a fun one with you guys. I want your guys' input on draft professors, where we can do kind of a challenge with the 2nd and 3rd round picks. And that's always a fun one too. So that is a fun one. Okay. All right, so let's get back to this. Let's do a mock here. And, yeah, let's see what we can do. Let's see how PFF's one looks. It's probably going to be a little different. So I think the biggest dilemma I see in this one, usually at pick 52, is Basantis at guard or Chris Johnson at corner. Chris Johnson, really good special teamer on top of that. And then obviously Connor Liu's here as well. So it would behoove us to trade back if possible. 62. Boy, I'm going to need some. Interesting. Okay. All right. Let's just do this, see what happens. If we lose all 3, it is what it is. And we'll take Connor Liu again. It looks like what we're going to be doing. Okay. Well, that was, yeah. So funny. Because we've taken Everett. Okay, hold on. I'm quitting. No, no, no. We have to do it. No, no, no. Yeah, see, that's the struggle. There's your struggle right there with trading back is that you got to be careful. 10 moves back is not the move. Why is Iheanacho here? Okay, since we did, I want to take Chris Johnson, see what happens. Because I think it gives us a good indicator. Yeah, Halton 30th. Let's take Dunker. He's popular. He's popular as heck. I get it to a degree. Let's also assume here we're bringing back Quay because it seems like at like that level of a deal, I think is a no-brainer. Man, Torian York, if we were bigger than this, I still might do it here, honestly. Oh, man. Extend Malik. I mean, listen, the stick to the model site, like with how like it values stuff, like it says we could easily extend Malik for like 4 million per, Brian, and someone like Darian Kennard is 16 million on the low end, and Sean Ryan's like 20 something. So there is some mistake evals in there for sure, but it is funny. It is funny. Let's take Halton, one of my faves per usual. Say that off-season pairing of Halton and Kyrgios Tonga is one of my faves to do. I really don't want to go there. Really don't want to go there. But we may have to. You know what I'm saying? Because linebacker. Yes. The Packers are reportedly meeting with Harold Perkins during Combine Week. Yeah, that's an interesting one. I'm going to go over that a little bit at the end, I think, with just what that looks like. And yeah, let's do something a little different. Let's take Aiden Fisher because we've the Halton thing is such an obvious, I think, selection. Oh, take Iowa, guys. Bam. Oh my goodness. That's funny. Looks kind of good though. Taking Logan Jones and all that. Moe makes, man, that gets you going. So does Taylon Green, unfortunately. I feel like that's definitely something that would make a lot of sense, wouldn't it? Okay. Yeah, let's take Taylon Green because then we can take Logan Taylor. Yes. Yes, sir. Looks lovely. We can take Logan Taylor, but I feel I could get on board with Malik Benson here. Especially if my guy's not here on day 3, which he isn't. Yep, I've been convinced. Yes. Okay. Bam. There's a quick one. 7 rounds. It would like to grade me. Chris Johnson, Jennings Dunker, Grayson Halton, Aiden Fisher, Logan Jones, Taylon Green, Malik Benson, Logan Taylor. Bam. Easy. We'll hang on to that one. All right. I'm going to do another one. But let's do it on Pro Football Network. We're going to get all of the sites involved on this one on this Monday. We might have to change the title to Mock Draft Frenzy. That's probably what we're going to change the title to. So that'll be fun. Okay. Let's do that. Let's go to Pro Football Network. and do their mock simulator. I think it'll be a good one. Let's go fast. Okay, 7. And enter our draft here. Would love to have Arvel Reese on this defense. Oh, I wish. I really do. I really, really wish. No, thank you. Okay. No, Chicago, we're not. Oh, they took our Mason Thomas from us. That's so upsetting. Okay. Emmett Johnson, Julian Neal, Dylan Tiedemann. Wow. You are kidding. Why is everything coming up Jennings Dunker? May I say. All right, defense, corner. Man, Igbinosun staring you in the face. Not because I want to, but because something about it feels correct. We've taken Halton 18 million times. Let's take Igbinosun. It's not my favorite thing to do. It's not my favorite thing to do. I state my regret. I do. No thanks. No thank you. Okay. We've taken the corner. It's always fun. Oh, Dominique Orange. I feel like Corleone, we can get him later. Oh, boy. Oh, Rodriguez. Yes. Yes, my king. My king. Nah, Rutledge. Classic. Right, we picked Rutledge. We didn't pick the... Okay. That's comforting to me. Jones Slaughter. Yeah, Trey Zune. Everybody seems to think that's going to be the guy. We can do that. We can certainly do that. Lander Barton, Aiden Fisher, Kyle Lewis. It just seems to be harder and harder to move on from our guy Quay. Just because even though again it's deeper, it just feels very bleak when you go through this. So Jones Slaughter, Zoom later. Boy, it's fun. Maybe we just do the fun thing now. But it's not very fun. This could be fun. Oh, man. Bryce Lance could be fun to do. That could be fun. That could be a good time. I think we're going to stretch for it if we don't do it now. We're going to forget. Let's take Corleone. Let's take Corleone here. Oh, we have another. Gosh dang it. We have another 4th round pick. Okay. Oh, man. You talk about a guy that fits them like no business. Who'd I take instead of Rodriguez? I took Keelan Rutledge. Keelan Rutledge. Is Trey Lance's brother good? I mean, we talking about deep threats. Oh, man. You know, Romello Height might be worth it at that point. You know, if he's still here, let's do it. Let's do it, my kings. Let's do it. Got to have some fun. Got to have some fun. Okay, well, yeah. Yep. We'll do it here for sure. Don't have to tell me twice. Let Rauscher Wright please be my pick going forward. Okay. Eastern Ball, Hall. I just really don't like this. That might be our guy. That might be our guy. Yeah. Probably where we're going to have to go. Gosh, Dalen Everett at this juncture? Brother. We got 4 picks left. Probably taking a QB. Probably going to have to... Oh, no. Don't do this to me. Don't do this to me. Man. Goodness sakes alive. This O-line triple down, though, boy, it feels good. It's fun. It's a good time. Pounds, Rhythm, Bell. We're gonna do the challenge next. Brian knows what I'm talking about. I'm gonna take Daquan right here, believe it or not. Taking him right there. Enjoy. Enjoy. That means what? Who did it? Who's the turd? Who's my greatest enemy? You are. Indianapolis. Indianapolis, my greatest enemy, taking Keyshawn Elliott. You absolute turds. I do not like you. I do not like you. Okay. Let's take Aaron. Oh my gosh, Aaron Graves. The ads are outrageous. Okay, so we have a Graves. We got 3-0 line. That's what I want to do. Could do Logan Taylor again. It's always fun. Feels like a good time. What have we done? We've done receiver, tight end. We've done 2-0 line. We need to take a linebacker. Justin Jefferson it is. Easy. Last but not least. Certainly not least. Justin Jefferson, Devontae Smith. Just for jokes. We've taken 2 DTs. We've taken 2. Yeah. Could be fun to do this. Could be fun. Edge. Everybody's in on Riger. Everybody is. And now that everyone is, I'm still an Eric O'Neal guy. All right. So that's that one. Davis and Igbinosin at 55 after a slight move back to land us a 4th. Keelan Rutledge, Dante Corleone, Bryce Lance, Jake Slaughter, Daquan Wright, Aaron Graves, Justin Jefferson, Eric O'Neal. So now what I want to do is actually I got to make sure I might not be signed in here. I am. Okay, perfect. So this one, you guys in the chat are going to get involved. I would always wants Logan Jones. You guys are going to get involved here. So the goal with this one, okay, is we're going to do 3 rounds. And what I want to do is I want your guys' input here, okay? Because we're going to do, how many of these can we do? I'm going to turn Fanatic mode on. And we're going to do, I think, 5 second and third rounds. Nope, 3. Thank you. Okay. And the great part about this is you cannot pick the same player twice. JJ's going to love this because we can't, we'll get rid of picking the same players. So he likes Patrick Payton. Joe says, who does Brian like for Packers 3 tech that's realistically in range? These just all showed up. I don't know if my internet clocked out there for a second, but Okay, we need. Yeah, I'm going to be listening to this tight end show. That Ope did, because I need to know if we dove into some of the guys who block really well, because that's what we need. I don't need any more of these dang receiving tight ends ever again. Okay, but since for those who are in here, let's do this challenge here. I think I did it right. I always have to double check myself on this to make sure it was correct. So we did our mock off season, but now what's going to happen is we're going to be on the clock here. Okay. And we got to pick somebody. I'm going to stretch this out just a little. Just a little bit. I think we can see this pretty easily, you know? Okay. So at this pick, there are some popular ones, right? We look at corner first. And we got Cisse, Igbinosun, Julian Neal, Will Lee, Dalen Everett. Some classic ones there. If we go to D tackle, Orange, Halton, Corleone, Darrell Jackson. Pretty solid. If we want to go O-line, where's interior O-line? Oh, here it is. Okay. If we go O-line, we look Jake Slaughter, Parker, Lou, Bo Stevens, Rutledge, Casey. So Iowa Joe has already thrown in his pick for Cisse here. What does everyone else think? If we go to all, Cisse is the top player. R. Mason Thomas could be a lot of fun, you know? No? Sure. Linebacker, Golde, Rodriguez, Perkins, Lawson. So if no one else says anything, we'll go Cisse. Obviously, we got 5 of these. So in the next go around for round 1, Cisse will not be available, which I think is more likely than not at 52. But we can definitely do it here. All right. Any objections to Brandon Cisse going once, going twice? Screw or edge? Again, R. Mason Thomas being here is not something you always get. Did this autocorrect for you, Dershel? Did Cisse autocorrect to screw? That would be really funny. Because it's not something you type very often. All right. Let's go Cisse. Hopefully that's what, Dershel, your message meant. We'll never know. Perhaps. Okay. Now, Slaughter is gone. Interior O-line is going to be fascinating. Oh, look at this. You can get some decent DTs. Look at the interior O-line. Logan Jones staring us in the face. Grayson Halton still here in the third. Feels pretty good. If so, wow, tackle is cooked at this point. Nick Singleton and company. Cuevas Royer. Just for fun, looking through some other positions. Lewis Bond, one of my faves. See right there is the Don. We could go that route for sure. Absolutely could. I would prefer to go Halton, but I understand if we want to do that. I know some people brought up edge. Barham is still there. That's kind of about it. Tucker's age maybe puts him in day 3. Joshua Joseph's interesting perhaps as well. And then, oh yeah, nice. Harold Perkins at linebacker. So, what are we thinking? Could double down a corner for fun. Dalen Everett, Grayson Halton, Dante Corleone. Options right there. Anyone have any thoughts on what we should do here? Or are we just rolling right through it? Halton or Everett. So we have gone corner. We could double down at corner with Everett, or, you know, we could obviously make this one a little bit more balanced. Here's our picks up here. Players selected. So maybe we take Halton, unless there's a massive push for the Don. Okay, Iowa Joe's down for DT. Doesn't matter which one, though. I prefer Don. All right. Well, for this one, since it doesn't really matter, more so than anything, we'll go Halton for this one. So our first mock, as this thing's going to traverse all the way back through this, again, to the second round. Firstly, we got, is Don the one with health issues? Yes. Yes. He is the one that, has had blood clots in the lung, I believe, and had to step away for some time. So yes, that is correct. Now we're back in round 2. I might make a play for our Mason Thomas, but if we're gonna stick with like what Green Bay needs, obviously Connor Lew is a big one. Slaughter, everybody's a big fan there. And then obviously Igbinosun, Neal, and Willie and Everett are big ones. So we got one for our Mason Thomas. We got one for IGB. Probably can make both of those happen in the second. So that's what's nice about this, is we can make the other one next. I think, to me, our Mason Thomas might be the best player here. Rodriguez is good. Could obviously do that too. D-tackle, really, other than Orange, it's a pretty similar grouping. They just won't let us pick Halton ever again. So it's pretty similar again, where I don't think DT is something where I'm like, we must do this now. And again, offensive tackle is yikes. So, okay, we got an IGB and an R. Mason Thomas. Does anyone want to break that tie? Otherwise, I will do it. Otherwise, I might do it. So, okay, let's do IGB in this first one. We're gonna go R. Mason Thomas the second time around in the second round, or the third time around, I guess, at this point. Because yeah, we're still getting Everett at this spot, so something like that could happen. Could be good. So Slaughter, Stevens, Logan Jones, Bo Stevens. I already said Stevens. Cage Casey is what I meant. Linebacker again is Harold Perkins, funnily staring us in the face. And then Corleone. Well, since Joe said Corleone last time, let's do that. I think this time, unless there's any objections, the linebackers I'm not thrilled about. Again, we're not going to really double down potentially at corner. So it's really Slaughter or the Don, I think, at this spot. I think that's pretty much where we're sitting. So Perkins is going to get overmocked because it's announced. No question. But he shouldn't. He can be overmocked as long as it's on day 3. Like, I don't think I'm doing that here. I would be hard pressed to. I would have to be pressed to make that happen. So what do we think? Slaughter or Corleone? What do we think? Going once, going twice. What's tight end look like? All right. Cuevas, Royer, Kitzelman, Bentley, Endries, Stowers, all the way down here. Daquan Wright down here. Jolie. Lance Mason, good player, good blocker. Sam Roush is all the way down here too. Reardon's down here. You want to do Kitzelman here? Oh, okay. Want to do Kitzelman? We can definitely do that. We can definitely do that in one of ours, for sure. You want Kitzelman or the Don, though? You want Kitzelman or the Don here? I would joke, because Joe, we could go the Don right here, and this is your 1-2 punch, you know, kicker. let's take Joe's 1-2 punch for this one. I think, yeah. Let's go Joe's 1-2 punch. He liked IGB and the Don, so let's do that. All right. Third iteration. I think we're going to do R. Mason Thomas. So then the corner comes into play later. I think R. Mason Thomas, Dalen Everett is really nice. Oh, Christian Miller. Oh, we might not be able to pass up on this. Whoa. Okay, Christian Miller or R. Mason Thomas is really the question. That's really the question. Should we? I mean, Miller being here feels like the pipe dream. So maybe we just do that. So the first three are gonna be, lobbing the ball right over the plate. I take back Thomas. Would be hard to pass on Miller. Okay. Well, let's do that. So these first three are gonna be like, all right, meat and potatoes. Right, like no issues unless we go edge here or take Slaughter. But like all Georgia all the time. All Georgia. Let's do it. Let's do Miller and Everett. So that's three of them right there. So the three we have so far: Cisse, Halton, Igbenos, Corleone, and then Miller Everett. Miller Everett would be pretty sick. Can't lie. Cannot lie. So this is probably the one where I'd go, let's take Thomas if he's here. Yeah. Thomas, and then we go nuts. So let's do that since we haven't done that yet and Dershel wanted to do that. Let's see what happens if you take an R. Mason Thomas here at 52. And obviously this what's nice about this, again, you're not going to get Igbenos and you're not going to get Everett here. Those options will disappear. That puts you into like Devin Marshall or maybe Takario Davis, maybe Malik Muhammad, or you completely switch, right? We've switched positions already enough where you could go Muhammad or we could take the Slaughter or Logan Jones. Right, Slaughter's obviously a favorite, or we didn't get. Dang it! I was wondering if we were going to get Rodriguez as a possibility. Very different one. Jacoby Lane, Malik Benson. So Iowa Joe wants Muhammad. It's interesting. So it looks like it's going to come down to Muhammad or double edge. Oh man. Barham. Is there anyone down here that shouldn't be down here? Oh, Rebello Height. Oh man. Rebello Height and R. Mason Thomas. That's funny. That's really good. Wouldn't that be something? So Terrence Parsons like Muhammad. Yeah, I mean, again, when you look at I think the coverage skill set, the footwork, all of that, he is impressive. It's just really for the Packers and Goody in the front office. It's just going to be do you think he's big enough? Do you think we got to stop at Culver's a few times on the way over to the draft party, right? What can we do in that regard? So, yeah, so I think double-edged and trade LVN mid-draft Super Bowl. Here's my thing, though, okay? I know we don't like LVN. I know it wasn't popular to take him over JSN and Gonzalez because those two were better, right? However, to defend the run, to have a guy who can rush the passer at the level Parsons can and then have enough of an athlete who's also hand in the dirt edge, R. Mason Thomas really doesn't do that. So that's where R. Mason Thomas almost can kind of split the difference between the two of them, probably more towards what Parsons' skill set is. But I think you need a player like LVN. You need a big, heavy-handed, edge-setting, type of player for this defense no matter what. So sometimes you have to say the Lannisters said their regards. My goodness. All right, you want to do Muhammad? Let's do Muhammad. We'll keep it 100 right there. But now it's going to be what are we going to do at this spot, right? We've gone edge rusher once, which is fun because I think R. Mason Thomas is extremely talented. We've done Christian Miller, IGB, and Cisse. Now it's kind of like, okay, are we, what is it going to be? Is it going to be Orange? Is it going to be Connor Liu? Is it going to be Julian Neal? Is it going to be Slaughter? Are we going to take Jacob Rodriguez here? This is going to be the interesting one because now we really don't have the top guys. So what do we think? What do we think, fellas? What is the direction we'd like to go in? Because again, I can hear it on Orange. Again, a guy, it makes a lot of sense, right? I can hear it on Rodriguez if we don't bring Quay back. So, what do we think? What do we think? I'm always interested. What receivers are here in the second? Wow. Okay, Surratt, Hurst, Chris Bell, and Bernard. So what do we think? Based on rank, I would go Golday. Okay. Golday's bigger, I believe, than Rodriguez will be. Rodriguez, I think, has a better grasp on stuff, to be honest, at this point of playing the linebacker position, because Golday played a lot of overhang / slot corner, big nickel at insane weight that you'll kind of ever see. So could do that, right? D line, interior O line. It's interesting. There's some things I want to quickly highlight before we get out of here once we finish this. But again, these are kind of, I think, the three positions, right, we look at. Corner at this point, the players that we've taken, it's really just Neal or Lee at this point. I know D'Angelo Pons, extremely, extremely good player. Just cannot imagine that's going to happen. So what do we think? Do we want to go Lou? We want to go tight end. Okay. We can look at tight end. Oscar Delp at 52. Always fun. Kitzelman, I know you're bought in. We're going to have to do a mock where we pick Kitzelman. It seems like Joe is completely bought in on Kitzelman. We should have done rounds 2, 3, and 4, honestly. That's what we'll do next time. That is what we will do next time. Hopefully, supercharged 13 personnel. I mean, now we're talking. Oh, Claire. Wow, Claire is 183. That's interesting. Did not expect Claire to be here. Stowers is more receiving. I think Claire could actually become a sufficient inline player, especially with the frame he has at tight end. Like that. Trigg, obviously, another guy who's probably going to kill it. Combine. Yeah. That's kind of what we're looking at. So Claire would be something very, very different. And something decently reasonable. What do we think, though? Do we want to do that? Or do we want to... I think it's this. I think, like, I know Joe's brought it up, right? Like, yeah, DT's fun. It's cool. Like, we can do that, but better off filling something else potentially earlier here. Oh, Joe wants to go Bo Stevens. I can't believe it. Do we want to like, oh, Rutledge is here too, by the way. Rutledge is also here. We could build Rodriguez, then O-line. I think that's a new one. Or do we want to go Rutledge, though? Probably won't get Rutledge later, but we probably won't get Rodriguez. Let's do Rodriguez. And we'll see what O-line... Because I think once we finish this up, I'll kind of talk about some things I've been listening to and hearing so far as Combine Week kind of gets underway. So Slaughter's still here. And Bo Stevens. So we want to do that? If Rodriguez is there, go for it. Yeah, I think... it feels like you're going to have to make that pick there. Well, we get Rodriguez, and then we get Slaughter or Bo Stevens. So we could do Bo Stevens. Let's do it. Let's go Bo Stevens over Slaughter. So we get our O-line pick. Joe. Oh, for both of you. For both of you, we get an Iowa Hawkeye. So here we go. Here are our mocks. I'm going to hang on to this. Perfect. So here are our mocks. Brandon Cisse, Grayson Halton, the first iteration. Then we got Davis Igbinosun and Dante Corleone. Kristen Miller, Dalen Everett. That's nice. R. Mason Thomas, Malik Muhammad. And then Jacob Rodriguez, Bo Stevens. So those are some interesting ones. But, I think positional chaos in that last one's really fun to take a look at of like, okay, if they don't bring Coy Walker back, like what are we going to do here? Like that, I think extremely important. I think if a talented edge rusher is there, Goody's probably not going to be able to help himself. Or Mason Thomas certainly fits that bill for me at least. But man, the Georgia pairing looks really good. It looks pretty good. It really, really does. Would not be a shocking one. Okay, so really quick, thank you guys for participating in that. So couple quick nuggets as we get into Combine Week here. First and foremost, Dane Brugler on The Athletic this week mentioned that the center position, it sounds like right now at least, of like, especially because of Connor Lew's injury, that the run on centers is potentially going to start after the top 75. So like there is a chance, at least at this moment, from what it sounds like, that the guys like Slaughter and Jones and Golbin from Michigan State and Lou and Parker, whoever you like at center, could be available in the third round. Now it's not, it's not a gleaming endorsement of this class, right, at center. But if you are looking for a potential starter in the mid rounds, like it sounds like it's going to be possible to do that. So that's probably good news for Green Bay as they look to try to fill that center position, even if they're going to look Linderbaum or they're going to look, at somebody like Fortner or just guys that are kind of like, again, almost fill-ins. If they're concerned about it, obviously the in-house option is, Monk. So we'll see, but that's probably good news for them. That kind of still keeps the door open at 52 for what they could potentially do, right? And then obviously the last thing is, right, we saw this from Ryan Fowler, that the Packers and I believe the Eagles are going to meet with Harold or are meeting with Harold Perkins at some point, at least during this week, if it wasn't today. Harold Perkins, lots of like production and impact havoc plays, right? When you watch him and some of his productive plays, he's around the football, right? That's a big part of it. Him being just around the football to make plays, whether it be kind of in coverage with tipped passes or whatnot, or chasing down guys as kind of a spy, blitzing as like a kind of an overhang, big nickel, strong safety type of player, right? Like he is doing a lot of that stuff. Is he the best in coverage? I don't think so. And so that makes it really, really tricky of like, okay, is he going to play will linebacker? Is he going to try to be a big nickel type? Like, or this was something we were talking about in our Packers draft Twitter chat of like, are people going to be tripping over themselves to find the Eminwari in this draft? Probably. Like Keontae Scott, Miami, slot corner that plays really physical, blitzes hard, but I think he struggles in coverage. Like, if you want to, highlight the coverage struggles a little bit for Keontae Scott from Miami, it's kind of like, okay, well, Jeremiah Love ran a sail route on him and beat him as a running back. Not a great endorsement there. Like Traden Stukes from Arizona may be somebody that they're looking at, right? And like Harold Perkins could potentially be fitting into this sort of group of players as well, where it's just like, okay, like what's the plan with all this? So it's going to be kind of a wild thing. Like Emmanuel McNeil-Warren, safety, Toledo, big dude. He shot up DJ's board. Oh, that was the other thing. I wanted to look at DJ's board. We're going to do that quick too. But you're seeing these types of players of like, okay, can we live in nickel, defend the run well enough, and still be able to match when teams want to pass out of potentially 12 personnel, right? That teams are going to be trying to do that. Going to be trying to mimic it. And Minter's in Baltimore now with Kyle Hamilton. I imagine you're going to see quite a bit of it, right, with Hamilton, because McDonald, Minter, kind of from that same tree. And so I do think you're going to see a lot of that from Hamilton, who's, to me, in my opinion, one of the best defensive players in the league. And Eminwari is certainly moving towards that, right? So I think that's just something that of note. And obviously, young player who, made an impact early in his career, is probably somebody worth talking to, right? Like, no question about it. So I don't think it's super surprising that they're meeting with him, just simply because, again, if they see him as a linebacker, kind of important because Quay Walker potentially on the way out. So, yeah, I think that's something to definitely be monitoring, how many linebackers they're going to meet with. So, yeah, but again, Combine week, if there are any prospects to be looking at, from Green Bay's perspective, obviously, I think, when you talk about positions, right, and certain players, I'm going to go down that Combine list, but a quick note as well from DJ's board that I wanted to highlight. Obviously, Love Bailey. You've heard all these names, most likely, right? Manoa McCoy. So McNeil Warren's at 15, and that's the other thing of, like, I think McNeil Warren's really good. Powerful, enforcing hitter, insane playmaking ability, right? And movement skills and range from the core of the formation to the boundary or to the field. So he's got a lot of that. That's kind of what they may be looking for, right? In a player of, like, hey, can you do this? I think Sadiq's going to have a ridiculous combine. I don't think that's anything crazy. Jordan Tyson, not running routes, doing drills, any of that stuff. So we will not see him. Definitely notable. Again, for Green Bay, this is maybe a good thing, right? When you think about, like, what Green Bay needs. Omar Cooper Jr. flying up to 19 in DJ's rankings, I don't think is an accident. I think there's been a lot of smoke about him potentially going in round 1 as kind of a slot player, explosive yak guy, right? So the more receivers that go before Green Bay picks, big deal. And this is the other big thing, okay? Because of what Green Bay needs, okay? Big deal on this one. A guy who keeps slipping in a lot of these rankings. Okay, Keontae Scott's in there. See, a guy we just talked about. Oh, I passed him. Whoops, my fault. I think it jumped on me because I don't remember. Here we go. Peter Woods at 38. Okay. Peter Woods, high pedigree player. A lot of impact as a nose tackle. Trimmed down to play 3 tech. You keep seeing him tumble. Look out, man. Look out. Green Bay needs it very clearly. So, notable. Also, Christian Miller dropping into the 40s. Again, this is, I think the defensive tackle need is still going to be, I think, very, very important for teams. So it's still we're still in kind of pipe dream mode, to me at least, with guys like Miller and Hunter and McDonald and Woods. But Miller at 41, just as a notable one. Again, in range of a potential move up 10-ish spots, right? If it were to work out that way. So, you never know on some of this how it's going to go down, but, like, still Miller is somebody I'd still be keeping an eye on. This is a guy I would be keeping an eye on for Green Bay this week. Anthony Hill Jr. from Texas, young player at linebacker. Don't really like what he is in terms of getting into the tackling phase and how he's handling contact. Like, I just don't really think that's very good at all at this point. Tackling, playing physical, I don't like that. But again, there is more than one way to win against offensive linemen, right? Getting around them, dipping underneath with the shoulder, right? Jab stepping to get them to go a direction that you don't want them to go, right? There are ways to deconstruct the blocking scheme, right? There is some of that. And so if he can do some of that, great. He's got, the change of direction skills and all of that you want to see to be able to chase down stuff from the core of the formation to the boundary. Blitzing, right? All of that stuff. So he's got, like, some shades of Walker and Cooper in kind of both. How he moves, how he's maybe planned to get around blocks will be different, but also in Quay's version, just kind of a guy who I feel like is a little more athlete than football player at this point, and a young player on that. So there is some Quay PTSD, no question about it. But it probably somebody to just keep an eye on for Green Bay. So with that, I want to get to the player list because 319 prospects, right? I want to get to it so we can just highlight a few players at a couple positions. QB, we're not too worried about that, right? Be interesting to see what Taylon Green does. Kind of these developmental guys. I don't think we're going to see Drew Aller, but Cole Payton, another big one, who was coming off of an injury to his throwing hand, I believe, a couple weeks before the Senior Bowl, so maybe didn't get to see the best of him there. But he's somebody obviously worth checking out. Man, running back, there are certainly some names. Mike Washington's a big dude who can run fast. You know they like players like that. Le'Veon Moss is somebody we didn't get to see a lot of this past season, so somebody to kind of maybe pay attention to. Emmett Johnson would be a good complementary player to Josh Jacobs, so some guys there to take a look at for sure. If they're going to go receiver, man, returner, Barian Brown, for sure. Take a look at him as he challenges for the 40 title. Deion Burks will probably be doing the same thing. Malik Benson, probably a day 3 guy, some decent production tagged to him. Probably worth checking it out. Heidenreich was a receiver. He's kind of really like a fullback almost. He's got like a weird build to play receiver, but I think he's kind of more of an offensive weapon, to be honest. I don't think he's like running back, H-back receiver, kind of do almost everything. Again, Bryce Lance, we brought him up. Probably going to test pretty darn well, I imagine. And then where was it? Again, smaller guy, but like blazing speed at 170. Returner, gadget guy to get him on the field. Again, maybe not so much Green Bay guy because of the size, but you never know. And yes, Iowa Joe's guy, Caden Wheatchin, definitely worth a look as well. But they're probably going to like the bigger guys like Stribling, Oh, man. Ted Hurst is going to be out of their range. Anyway, probably not as big of a deal to think about that. But tight ends, when you're watching this week, if you're going to watch it at all, athleticism, they got to test well. Guys I'm looking at that are having, it's a really important week. Oscar Delp, one of my favorites, potential inline player if the hand placement can be a little more consistent when he strikes against defensive linemen. Extremely good linear athlete. I think it could be a good week for him. Jack Endries, kind of in that same vein. Would love to see what his agilities look like as a potential guy to play in line. We talked about Max Clare, who has the frame to do it. Does he have the athleticism to match? I know Iowa Joe's brought up Kitzelman a couple times tonight. Sam Roush, another one. Would love to see what the testing is going to look like, and especially Daquan Wright from Mississippi. One of my favorites. Big, physical, can become an inline player. Want to know what the testing numbers are. So those are big ones, I think, is for sure. Again, we kind of talked a lot of centers tonight. Matt Gulbin, who Dershel just says right here, probably a conclusion Goody falls in love with Matt Gulbin. Watch that. Watch the short shuttle times for offensive linemen as well. Usually the good numbers. I think it's sub 4.4 or sub 4.5. Let me see. Because Josh Norris of Underdog tweeted this again this week. It's an important week. Short shuttle time of 4.47 seconds or better. It's hard to see the lists. Obviously, PTSD Packers fans, Jason Spriggs is on this list. But when you look at it as a whole, Nate Solder, Eric Fisher, Jake Matthews, Joel Bitonio, right? Jake Fisher, James Daniels, Abe Lucas, Dom Pooney, Tanner Bortolini, Zach Tom, Jason Kelsey, right? So littered with guys who, when they break those, a lot of starts under their belt. So certainly worth your time to make sure you're looking at who kind of meets those numbers. Defensive linemen, I think it's, kind of cut and dry. What are we going to hear about Corleone's medicals? Right, that's going to be a big deal. Capehart's going to be an interesting one from Clemson. Benny as well. Is he really playing at that 290 weight? Right? I have a feeling Zane Durant's going to have potentially a big week. These Penn State guys, Denise Dennis Sutton, same thing, right? Penn State guys like to have big weeks, at this event. So be paying attention there. Grayson Halton, definitely. We talked about him a bunch tonight. He should be paying attention to him and what those times look like. Obviously, Daryl Jackson Jr. is somebody that's been talked about a lot for Green Bay. Pay attention. Christian Miller, if he tests well, forget about it. He's not going to be there. But yeah, I think, like, again, you watch some of those guys, just pay attention to it. I think these two, Caleb Alarms-Orr and Kayshawn Elliott, and Aiden Fisher, heck, all three of these guys right here, guys you should be paying attention to, I think, again, from a Packers perspective this week. Adam Huddle says Pooney should have been a Packer, 100%. That one hurts. Not a lot of third rounders that I'm really, really upset about not being Packers. He is top of the list there. Again, Golday, we talked about the size, big dude. You should be looking at that one. Hill and Jefferson for sure. And Jacob Rodriguez, guy we kind of talked about a lot. Josiah Trotter, young player, splash plays and run defense, right? Like we've kind of talked about that. At corner, again, kind of the guys we've been discussing that I think we should be paying attention to. Everett at Georgia, right? Igbinosun, Chris Johnson, if he runs well, if he tests well, forget it. It's not going to be there, I don't think. So, if you want him to run a 4.5, make sure you set that prayer circle up. I think it'd be very important to see what Julian Neal does at this one. Malik Muhammad, if he's going to weigh more or less, or how that's going to look. Yeah, definitely something to keep track of as well. And I think, again, under the radar, Colin Wright of Stanford, somebody to definitely be paying attention to this week. So plenty to be talking about. Real quick, for those who are here still, or those who watched and listened to this all the way through afterwards, you're legends, first of all. Second of all, after every combine day of testing, we're going to be live on that other channel, if you know about it, Jake NFL Draft, no spaces. You will find it. We'll be live there recapping all of it. If we have to talk Packers only, that's fine, but we're going to be recapping a lot of things from the positions, what we saw in the drills, what the testing numbers look like as those cards come in, all of that, all 4 days. Get excited for that, okay? So thank you guys again for showing up tonight. I know it was a little bit scuffed because of not being able to do 3 mock off seasons, but we pivoted, we did what we could, and we got hopefully a little bit of info for y'all as we get into Combine Week. So thank you, Chris N. Thank you, Adam Huddle. Thank you, Tyler Derschel. Thank you to Iowa Joe. Brian Maffey. Did I miss anyone? I don't think so. Seemed like that was really the crew tonight, which that's fine. We got to get more content out there. That's really the problem. And we'll be fixing that. There's a lot of stuff that's going to be over here. That's, if you've been subbed over there's going to be a lot more of the prospect stuff, strictly prospect perspective, right? This is going to be more Packers centric. Please still watch over there though. That helps me a lot. But we're going to get all right, what are the options at center over here, and go through some, and then corner and D tackle. And we'll probably go through those a little more in depth here, and hopefully do the live show here every week. Again, with the combine schedule, I wanted to get one this week before it got crazy. And because Friday night, I can't do this plus the other. So, but yes, please check out the Substack and the other YouTube, because there'll be plenty of stuff with all that, because it's a loaded week. We're going to have a lot going on. So, but again, thank you so much. If you can hit that thumbs up on the way out, if you haven't already, I appreciate that, and enjoy the rest of your Monday evening. And hopefully I'll be talking to you guys either on Derailed or during kind of this combine longish weekend, Thursday through Sunday on the other stream. But again, thank you so much, everybody, and go Pack, go.